Hi everyone, welcome to Ethernal Realms and welcome to this reading. We're going to see what your love life looks like in the coming 6 months. So how is it developing, and also at the 6-month mark, what is going on? We have pile number 1, 2, 3, and 4. Make sure to choose your reading with your intuition. If you're not sure how, you can watch the video in the ribbon above and it will walk you through it. Once you've made your choice, the reading for you is in the timestamps in the description box and the comment below. So whenever you're ready, we'll get started. Hi Pile 1, welcome to your reading. So let's get into it and see what the coming 6 months behold when it comes to your love life. So the first card we have here is You, the Muse, which is card number 3. And this talks about the Empress energy. So you are appearing as abundant, attractive, very fertile, also harmonious, peace-giving, and it can be a feeling of comfort and enjoyment whenever anyone is in your vibe, basically. We have Your Past Supports Your Future, card number 11. So this can indicate two things that's coming to mind. One is that you're already connected with someone, and they are very supportive of you at this time, or your connection is just improving and flourishing. There is a sense of equality and balance, equal give and take in the connection. But if you're not with someone already, this can talk about, the experiences and lessons you've been through in the past that is bringing you to a kind of new beginning where you know where you stand, you know your worth, you know what you want in a relationship. So you're kind of ready to make that connection. And we have Ambush Fear with Your Ferocious Dream, card number 51, adding up to 6. So this talks about, again, harmony and mental breakthroughs is what I'm getting, where you thought there were blocks or where there were blocks are no longer the case, because you have the strong courage and willpower to break past any limitations. Okay, and it could even be that this tenacity and perseverance that you're getting in terms of love and making connections, this can also come from the past, right? So the things that did not work out, they kind of enhanced your grit and strength and your endurance within the connections that you are making, or at least it helped you clarify where you want to be headed, and you're unafraid to ask for certain things. Sometimes we assume that other people know what we want or need, but that's almost not ever the case, and we need to kind of communicate ourselves in an effective manner. But before we can communicate to others, it's important to know it ourselves, right? So you're doing all of these multiple stages of personal development, which is totally bringing you closer to making a connection. So let's get some tarot cards now and see what's coming through for you. Pile number 1, please. 6 months from whenever they choose this video, how is their love life? What's the development and what is ultimately working out? Okay, so let's see. First card we have is the Devil. This corresponds with the Capricorn energy. Either you are a Capricorn, Sun, Moon, or Rising. Maybe you have Venus in there, or it is the other person that we're talking about that has Capricorn. Could be somewhat more connected with the financial aspects of life or the more material aspects. It does not directly translate to a materialistic tendency, not always, but it does mean that holds like significant importance in a person's life. So this is talking about purging some, addictions or codependencies, or the tendency to go for certain, toxic connections, if that is already a thing that you struggle with. This is about you coming out of that and understanding the shadow, because I love this particular Devil card because it also shows the light in the background, and that's essentially the point, is that we see the fears and the illusions for what they are, and then we recognize that we're ultimately always moving towards the light, basically. So in that case, the darkness kind of makes sense, or the difficulties also make sense, because you are no longer the person that you were beforehand. And whatever it is, it just makes you stronger, right? That's the next card coming out, is the Strength. And this is about that strength and stamina, endurance that we were getting earlier. This also indicates passion. Devil as well as strength, both are very passionate signs. And this can be about in an intimate sense for sure, but it's also like you get along in the way that you see life with whoever you're connecting here. And this also talks about you're not afraid to try new things or explore new territory, even try out something that you were initially apprehensive about, and you are trying to make something out of that, bloom despite, the, let's say, dry spell, or, just the lack of connection, long-term connection with someone, okay? But both of these cards are very long-term. In a sense, this one corresponds with Leo, which is a fixed sign. It's very long-term. Whatever it acquires or whoever it loves, it is able to keep loving for a very long time. And Capricorn as well is very, very dedicated. So this ambushing fear with your ferocious dream is just coming out loud and strong now. Next, we have the Three of Wands, which indicates coming into communication. I'm also getting flirting. There are some flirtatious energy, spontaneous as well, taking some short trips, trying out different things. Exciting, quite exciting, again, is passionate. And I'm getting that things are looking up, or you're looking forward to tomorrow and the future in general, okay? Next, we have the Four of Pentacles. You're cautious in a way to open up too much. You're first getting to know one another, and like while you are still trying all of these different things, I think there is an overlap of during the 6 months that we're talking about, you doing all of these ups and downs type of situation where you're going through things, or you're dealing with the things you have gone through, and by the end of it, you're like making a major breakthrough, and you're just coming out of it so much stronger, wiser, brighter, and more optimistic as well. It's also about like, I don't know if I should trust someone fully. I don't know if I should open up so much fully. Let me like see it through and kind of go at it bit by bit and get to know someone before I open my heart fully, right? That is similar to the Three of Wands as well, because you can't see too far into the future with this card. But it looks promising, it looks good. If the trajectory is maintained, then we can keep seeing signs. If we keep following the signs and synchronicities, then we can see it to a favorable outcome. That's ultimately the meaning of the card. We have the Six of Cups as well. So this is again that past supporting your future, meaning that's coming through. So this can talk about, again, that X situation is a pretty typical signature here, okay? Six of Cups, nostalgia, childhood, someone you connected with back in high school or college or something like that, and now you're reconnecting and there's still something there. But that's not always the case, right? Some people are just not into that. So this can still mean that you are connecting with someone, and by using your past, you are kind of directing your love life, basically. Okay, so just be watchful, because the shadow side of the same cards can indicate that you're carrying forward the fears and illusions of the past, and you're trying to resist it, but that might come across as defensive internally, subconsciously, not in an active way. But it can quickly turn meaning in that way that, you're still afraid. So you will try to make a connection, but you're going to be on the power side, or you will try to manipulate the connection in a way that you are always safe, and if you have been feeling a sense of hurt or dissatisfaction with your love life for a while, and these are some things that you have been thinking about, or it's just an impulse type of behavior, then just watch for that, because that indicates that the past can keep repeating, because support kind of goes both ways, right? Support as in you learn from it and you move on, or it's something that needs to be repeated in order for you to surpass it, basically. And the message of the Devil is as well, you need to go through something in order to surpass something. It can't be avoided. There are no curve routes, nothing. We can't trick all of this, because trickery is kind of the domain of this card here. So we need to keep following the light and being as honest with ourselves and our situation as possible, and that just like immeasurably boosts your your connection with whomever you collaborate with, connect with, because there is some communication coming in, and this is likely someone you've known before, but maybe you don't talk to them as much, or you just didn't think of them that way, something like that, where you had like completely blocked it out and you have been like cautious or in your bubble of, I'm dealing with all of this, so I can't bother about this person, I can't see this person like that. But it might really change and open up. So in that case, if you have any tendencies, okay, if you don't already have this, it doesn't apply, but take it as it resonates, right? But if you already have a tendency to sabotage your relationships, or believe that you're not worthy, or that it never works anyway, why bother, things like that, where it can be that the actions kind of limit the progress of the relationship. That's something to watch out for. But apart from that, if that's a precaution you're already taking, or you're working through it, then it's completely fine. Okay, so let's get a little bit more data about the trajectory. 6 months from whenever they choose the reading, please. How is pile 1's love life? Going on during the 6 months, what's the outcome? Okay, so we have geocentric model, okay, and we have solar flare. Okay, the geocentric model is basically corresponding with that the Muse card, or the Empress energy I was getting earlier. So you're definitely quite attractive around this time. And you're likely a lot more visible than you have been before, or you're comfortable with being. For example, if you're going on online dating sites and you're not used to that, you might be a little bit apprehensive of what that might be, or what types of connections you're making, and so on. So that might put you in the light of, well, hundreds of people are seeing you, or like thousands of people are seeing you, and they're trying to see if they can perceive you in a romantic light or not. So that can be a little bit of too much visibility for your liking, for some of you at least. But regardless, you are seen as attractive and very appealing, and it's as though your vibe and your aura is just very coming across in some way. Maybe the way that you put yourself out there, the way you express and carry yourself, it's like basic mannerisms and just the feeling that someone gets when you're there. I think that's standing out the most. I'm also hearing formidable presence, not in an intimidating way necessarily, but like you have a strong presence basically. And the solar flare is just amping you up in that way, and also talks about lots of passion, okay? First 3 cards, they're all about passion over here. So definitely if that's something you're looking for, it's absolutely in the cards. Again, in the shadow side, this can mean with the solar flares that something that has been suppressed, and it's still like a bit of a burning ember that might blow up and come to awareness. So if there's something that is being suppressed, that's going to come to light, and so that it can be either transformed, transmuted, or accepted in some way, dealt with it in some regard, depending on the exact nature of the concern. And then you can kind of temper the fire, it becomes healthier, you're always conscious of it, and so on. Usually when there are like flare-ups from the subconscious mind, it's to just bring into focus or bring into notice. It's not supposed to be just for the purpose of bringing the pain back up so that the suffering is there, or it's not really malicious in that way, but it's something hidden and something suppressed that needs to come to light because there's a new chapter on the horizon. Okay, so that can be a thing. But again, on the flip side, if you're already doing this voluntarily, you're kind of going through your stuff, you're healing yourself, etc., and the solar flare can indicate that you're spotting, you're detecting the minor problems, and you're able to kind of see it for what it is. You are bringing it to light, basically. Okay, all right. Also connecting based on childhood. So even if this is a completely new connection, you might like revisit on certain events from your childhood, and you share quite some things in common. So it definitely shows some type of promise, and there is a likelihood that you're meeting someone or multiple people, depending on again what you're going for and who you're going to find here exactly. But there is some connection here, but you're looking for security. Emotionally, you're getting that, but I think you're still just observing the situation for the time being. But you know, you can still move forward with this connection beyond the 6 month timeline. Okay, what else do we have for pile number 1? 6 months for the love life. 4th house, Venus and Cancer. Wow. Oh, wow. Okay, so this is very, very Empressy. Okay. Cancer is generally seated in the 4th house because it relates with the home and family, but it's also about your emotional security. Again, you're getting that. You're feeling embraced. You feel self-secure and sufficient as well. I think you're, like I mentioned in the beginning, you know, you're understanding your emotional needs. And what do you require from relationships? Who can feel close to home? Because, I mean, ultimately, that's what we're looking for. Like-minded people who are like our tribe, our family, you know. Doesn't matter where they come from. As long as we vibe, we just have that, you know, desire and that connect, right? So this is sort of that. You're looking for someone that can be emotionally stable and available and open to communicate even through the tough times. Even someone who is... even if there is a level of moodiness or not understanding your own emotions and all of that, but being able to, you know, find comfort in each other's presence, basically. So there is a sincere need that's coming through here. But yes, it looks likely that you might meet someone. The shadow side of this, by the way, would be that, you know, you're not available to the outside world, especially if you're like dealing with your own stuff and you're just not ready for a new person yet. You might, you know, close yourself off over here. I mean, it's not really a shadow side. It is what it is. You know, everybody has a different phase of life going on, so, you know, different stuff is going to manifest. But either way, there is still a chance that you can meet someone. Anyway, it can be someone close to you already. Again, like, you've not seen them in that perspective, but you might after this point. What else? Discussing home and family. Again, sharing childhood. There is a sense of comfort that you are feeling with a specific person, at least. Okay, and you're trying to discover your own point. And by the way, this is like throughout, like from now till 6 months, and then beyond that is something else. The outcome we're talking about is like 6 months down the line. Okay, all right, so that's what I have for you, pile number 1. Thank you so much for being here. I hope the reading was insightful. Let me know your thoughts. If you want a personal reading, you can reach me via Etsy. The link is in the description box. I will see you some other time. Until then, take care. Bye. Hi pile 2, welcome to your reading. So let's get into it and see what your love life looks like 6 months from whenever you're choosing this reading. Also, this describes how this love life is going to develop over the course of 6 months and so on. Okay, so we have Video Artist coming up first. Card number 28 adds up to 1. 2 plus 8, 10. 1 plus 0, 1. Okay, we have Stop, Drop, and Ground as well. Card number 31 adds up to 4. And we have Limitations, Inspire, Innovations. Card number 52 adds up to 7. Okay. We'll get you some tarot cards. Let's see, for pile number 2, please. Love life over the 6 months. I'm getting that some of you have not had the time to date, or there have been other obligations that you're dealing with in some way. Okay, let's see the full story. We have the Queen of Swords. We have the Empress. Then we have the Fool. Very nice. Okay, the Fool. We have the Six of Swords. And we have the Ten of Wands. This is the burdens and other obligations that I was getting earlier. But yes, okay, so Ten of Wands can sometimes indicate like putting the pressure on yourself, although realistically speaking, I'm not seeing that for every one of you, or at least most of you. It could have been other pressures or other deadlines and obligations and other things you just had going on in life. Perhaps there were a lot of changes going on. Maybe you were moving countries or cities or homes, and that would change your neighborhood and community, the life that you lead as well. So I think you were busy with like strategy, business planning, or logistics, things like that, of getting something done. So lots of cerebral activities coming through with the Queen of Swords. But in the course of 6 months, you are likely to turn over a leaf, and you are setting down some of these expectations or pressure. Either by delegating some tasks to others and managing your work or other pressures in that way, or this can be that you're just denying something. You're like, no thanks, I can't keep doing this, and I need to take a break, maybe for my self-care and rejuvenation. I need to go for a trip, be kind of step outside of everything that's going on. Because with limitations inspire innovation. Sometimes even if we don't like enjoy the difficult times, that's usually when all of the meaningful changes happen, right? We are like, okay, we're getting crushed, or not crushed, that's me being a little bit dramatic, but something keeps on drilling in us in the same trajectory, and we're like, oh, this is too much, but then we keep going. Oh, this is too much, and then we keep going, right? So we need to hit that point of, you know what, I'm done. I really, really am done. I'm not going to do this anymore. We need to reach that point sometimes to just drop it all. Not in a reckless way, but like just I got to neaten this up, okay? Something gotta give, something has to change, things of that sort. So that's ultimately the purpose of limitations, that we don't think of a different trajectory or a different viewpoint unless we're put in a corner where our current beliefs don't work anymore. Okay, our current coping mechanisms, they just don't work anymore, or whatever the case is. It can even be mentality for some of you, or it can be that you're busy. I'm getting like single mother type of vibe as well. Some of you maybe are, so you've just been dealing with a lot, taking care of things, and you just have lots of things going on, of course, and at the same time you could be needing to commute to your job or other places where you have these obligations and all of that, such that you took on more of this unattached role where like, I just have to get stuff done. It's not the time to get all emotional and mushy and all of that. You just gotta get this done, tick the boxes, and just keep moving. So maybe that was also the reason why you were not able to connect with someone very deeply. And even if you are in a relationship, this could again be that you have a lot of things going on in your individual life, so it's just not been easy for whatever reason. So the Empress, the Fool, and the Six of Swords then talks about letting some of those things be, admitting that some things just can't be done, and we're just going to make peace with that and move on. And wherever you're moving on to, it's a brand new beginning. It's a totally new chapter in your love life. This can be talking about meeting someone new that does not carry any of the baggages, or this can be that when you meet them, you just kind of feel rejuvenated and renewed, and you're like, okay, I'm ready for this new phase and new chapter. I'm sure that the past is not going to repeat because I've left it there. I've only taken the essentials with me, and I just feel very light, breezy, and beautiful in myself. That's kind of the energy coming through, okay? It's very profound, but at the same time, it's so peaceful on the other side. It's very, very peaceful. It's such a drastic shift. Yeah, because you can see even from the colors that, the Ten of Wands is a little bit heavy, so is the Six of Swords, overcast day, but there's some sunlight over there, okay, that's fine, but it's still winter. The Queen of Swords as well is in deep winter, Meanwhile, the Empress and the Fool are like, okay, bright colors, leaping into the unknown, and let's see what happens, let's see how it goes and all of that. So this innovation that is happening here is just making you more creative, artistic, expressive. You're dressing like you feel or dressing like you want to feel. That's a very awesome way of manifesting, by the way. For example, if you want to be professional, dress professional, and look at yourself and you'll be like, okay, I do really look professional, or some other vibe that you're going for, right? The point is, when you express yourself, you just understand yourself more deeply, and also you can understand others and where they're coming from as well. So Feed Your Artist is kind of talking about that. So the hairstyle you do, or the shoes you wear, or the belt or the coat, or whatever it is you're going for, the activities that you do throughout the day, are you incorporating a little bit of nature walk? Perhaps, if that's possible, try to do that, because that's going to ground your energy and help you be more connected to the natural rhythms and not take on too much pressure, because you can always, in some way or capacity, maybe it may not be obvious from the get-go, but there is still an opportunity to let some things go, and things will still be fine. Because I've noticed that at least whenever I get ungrounded, I get very anxious and I try to hold on to more things, or I'm like, okay, I will take care of this, and also this, and also this, and also this, but that doesn't help. It really does not help, right? It's just amping up on the same thing. We're doubling down on the same stuff. So sometimes just dropping everything and just going out for a walk, that's something I do and I should do more often. But that absolutely works out for me. Maybe it does for you as well. So, try it out. Go for a walk, go for a short trip. It'll take a long weekend, or maybe take half day off on Fridays or Mondays or whatever works for you. So you can basically have some time to yourself, because it just helps you deal with everything that's going on more effectively, but you don't get tired in the process as well. You're just rejuvenated the whole time. There is a sense of lightening up. This is kind of quite the opposite. The Fool is quite the opposite of the Ten of Wands, because of that light and airy attitude that it has in comparison to the heaviness and moody type of quality here. But I honestly don't think that this is voluntary. You're not, it's circumstantial, as is coming across at this time. Okay, so let's see some more. Pile number 2, please. The love lives 6 months from now. Let me finish the question and I'm going to take the cards. Pile number 2. I think 3 cards coming out. Okay. We have black hole, microgravity, and antimatter. Okay. So this microgravity is basically that force field, right? And black holes have immense gravity, immense. Okay. And it looks as though there is an energetic shift here, something that you can't really put a finger on it, and I don't know what exactly is shifting. It is probably something internal, that inner realization that, this is it. I'm done with this. It's just going to drain my energy. It's not feeding me anything. And what's the point of, hustling for this, or, struggling in this direction? Maybe I need more help, or, things like that, maybe. But yes, it talks about all of those things which are not literal. So it's not like you have a material setback. It's just a mental, emotional type of thing. But this shift allows you to enter into more of that attractive, mindset, where you're like, let whatever come. I'm not even going to push or bother or whatever. I'm just going to be here, and I'm just going to create the vibe that I want to create for myself. You could even be changing your appearance in some way, or your surroundings as well. So home decor, for example, or the office space you're in, or the bedroom you're in, you're trying to make that more soothing, appealing, inviting, which increases your comfort and peace the moment you're into the door, out of the external obligations. You're in there in your space, and it just is a vortex basically of things that you enjoy. That's enhancing your attractive quality, and it's basically calling into the universe. Even if you're not doing that intentionally, it's still calling to the universe that, look, my energy is ready for this. Okay, so I really love in that case the stop, drop, and ground in the Fool card because it talks about the potential of a new beginning. Okay, the potential of a new connection which can be established, and then it is up to the both of you how it actually carries forward. You're in that attractive state, so I don't think you have trouble meeting someone, whichever way that works out. Specific, but I guess some of you could be traveling and you meet this person, or wherever you're going for a vacation, let's say, you're meeting someone there, and it's kind of refreshing is what I'm getting. It's refreshing. Yes, okay, so very magnetic aura. So what else do we have for pile number 2? We have the moon in Cancer in the 3rd house. Yep, this talks about that commute. Maybe traveling towards family or relatives. If you have siblings, maybe you're going there and along the way you're meeting someone that you emotionally connect with, or you have similar thought process. Perhaps you're going to the same destination and you're not expecting it. Whenever the moon comes in, it's a feeling, not really something you logically imagine would happen. But it feels as though you're feeling a sense of comfort and abundance with whoever you're connecting here. Also, this looks into what your mindset is. Maybe, like I said, a single mother, single parent, whichever way it goes. This is about, the mindset being very focused on getting that right and doing all of that perfectly. That there might have been a lapse in personal self-care, okay? So this here talks about, okay, let's refocus. Let's bring back the mindset into that because, I have to love myself. I have to care for myself, things like that. Because if you're not well, how can you care for others? If you are not able, how can you carry so much obligation or responsibility, etc.? So I think all of this is going on in your mind. But again, like I was saying, it's sending out that beacon or that message of, hey, look, I'm mentally, emotionally ready. I'm totally out. I have space in life for myself and a loved one and another loved one. I can do it. And that's kind of the shadow side of Cancer, that they are very caring, loving, supportive, emotionally invested in their connections. But, they're all about giving. They initiate the giving. And sometimes they forget that they also need to receive, like from themselves and others as well. So I think you're keeping that in mind. You're moving along quite balanced in that regard. Some of you could be consciously manifesting as well, especially if you work with the law of attraction in some regard. So yeah, that can lead to some outcomes, nice outcomes. Okay, so that's what I have for you, pile number 3. Thank you so much for being here. Oh, sorry, pile number 2. Sorry about that. I hope the reading resonated, that it was insightful. Let me know your thoughts. And if you want a personal reading, you can reach me via Etsy. The link is in the description box and the comment below. I will see you some other time. Until then, take care. Bye. Hi, pile 3. Welcome to your reading. Let's get into it and see how your love life is developing in the coming 6 months and what is the ultimate outcome, or what development comes in 6 months from whenever you choose the reading. So we have Cozy Up with Risk coming up first. Card number 61 adds up to 7. Then we have Celebrate Your Wins. Card number 49 adds up to 4. 9 plus 4, 13. 1 plus 3, 4. And we have You Are Magic, which is card number 1. Okay, so there is some initiatory energy. There can be some new communication coming in. Someone you're connecting with and talking with. There's just that. If you're already in a relationship, this talks about you're reconnecting with one another and also like going on adventures and kind of complimenting each other, flirting with each other a little bit more, just bringing back the spark in general. For those of you who are looking for someone, this talks about that, you're looking for that chemistry or magic or something like that, which helps you kind of continue on with a connection. Like nothing fizzles out, nothing is misunderstood. The flame that is coming through, this is kind of a double-edged sword, right? The flame it's really nice when it is tempered. It is warm, cozy, vibrant, and quite passionate as well. But on the other side, if it becomes too much, then it can be burning. So you might be experiencing something like that, where either there is no chemistry or way too much, and then it gives no other room for any other forms of compatibility to grow. So it looks as though there are some changes in that way. The middle card there, celebrate your wins, indicates that there is some success coming in. Some of you are manifesting this partner or this type of connection and dynamic. What else is coming in for pile number 3, please? 6 months from when they choose this reading. In their love life. Okay. Okay, we have one extra card for you, but that's okay. Let's see. So we have the Queen of Wands, which is very passionate, dynamic, and adventurous as well. There is a healthy blend of emotional connection as well as physical. We have the Page of Swords, which talks about having conversations with someone. Again, that communication thing coming in, talking about different ideas, opinions. We have the Five of Pentacles. We have the Two of Cups. Yeah, okay. Then we have the Strength. And we have the Lovers. Okay, so all in all, quite bright and dynamic once more. Strength card also signifies lots of passion, and there is like interconnectedness. And I think there is also bonding over some shared experiences of, you know, some difficulties you might have faced in life. And there is a sense of kinship that is coming through because you understand where you are coming from. So the conversation is quite effortless, and you kind of agree on many things, and the things that you don't agree on, it's one of those, you know, opposites attract type of situation. Like, you don't hate the difference in the other. Instead, you're like curious about it. Why do you think this way, or how do you perceive something this way or that way? Now, yeah, definitely this talks about someone coming in. And this looks like it's going to strengthen over the 6 months as well and become a full-blown relationship. It does not look very trivial or like touch and go. It does not look confusing to me at all. So yeah, it can even be that you go through a phase of difficulty. Either you're going through this right now, or this is about during the connection. You might have like an argument or something, but you're going to pass that. You're going to understand each other much deeper and just strengthen your bond overall through the challenge. I'm also getting in alignment, so that manifestation energy is coming out once more. The Queen of Wands with the Lovers as well is all about that channeling the divine will, utilizing your strength and inner powers to manifest something that, you know, your will is trying to create, basically. So in this case, it could be a soulmate, or, you know, strengthening of a bond, a relationship, taking it to the next step. Or if you're in a long distance relationship and you're mostly, you know, commuting or digitally talking to each other, this can be about, you know, fighting against the odds, seeing it through, and you're coming out the other side much stronger, and now you can be together in some way. Or this is one of those times that you're physically meeting your partner. It's actually sparks and what is that? Fireworks. Yes. Okay. Quite passionate. Let's go and see what else is here for pile number 3, please. 6 months from when they choose the reading. Pile number 3. Whoops. Okay, what do we have? We have antimatter and we have solar zenith. Okay, so this again is emphasizing that you're understanding each other's inner worlds and you kind of see each other intuitively as well. There is a heightened sensitivity to one another's energy. So if one of you is not feeling well, the other also does not feel well. That's another specific message coming through. So I guess that could be a shared experience as well, that if you know that someone's not doing good, you're also feeling kind of more lonely and struggling with self-worth, or, you know, finding a sense of inspiration or value in your everyday world. This just seems like lots of empathy, basically. On another level, this looks like you're going on adventures as well. So cozy up with wrist. That flame is kind of resembled in the Queen of Wands, right? So it could be that you're going for like camping, let's say, or I keep hearing firefighter. Maybe you're volunteers and that's something you share. Yeah, that might be very, very specific. Maybe it doesn't resonate, but yeah, it was coming through, so I just had to say it. And now with the numbers that I was talking about, 61 adding up to 7, that's a very divine number. It indicates that only when it is time, only when it is in alignment, it is going to come through as a connection. Not before that. We can kick and scream, we can beg and whatever we want, but unless the timing is right, it's just not right. So it looks as though it's kind of risky, right, to want something or to go after something or someone that we are desiring or we know that is our partner or a soulmate or something of that sort, because what if it is not true? That's kind of what challenges the faith as well. So if you're trying to manifest since a long time, that's a risk you're willing to put up with, and the moment that you accept that, it feels as though it works. Something switches and then you have your person basically, or you have the opportunity to start exploring in the right direction. Some of you can be doing some online dating as well. Maybe you have been trying to meet people in person, but it has been slim pickings. Okay, in that case, you're connecting with someone digitally, so that would be like stepping outside your comfort zone and maybe taking a risk. What if the person they are not who they say they are, or they have a different behavior in texting and different behavior when you meet them, things like that, right? So that's a risk you're gonna have to take, but I think there's some form of success coming in. Trusting your intuition is going to be very, very important in this process. Okay, I keep hearing what doesn't kill you makes you stronger, with the Five of Pentacles and the strength, because this is more so for people who are already in a relationship and you've been going through a bit of a rough patch, having disagreements, sometimes even petty over small things. It's like not even necessary to bring it up, but then it just comes up because that's just the vibe or that's just the mood. If there has been some disconnect here where you felt alone even though you were with someone, this talks about that reconnection again, your understanding, you're syncing up once more. Okay, and now focusing over career, that's something. Okay, career and finances. Maybe this is like legit that you've not dated for a while because you've had other concerns, or it can be your partner who has been like quite busy, you're quite busy, and it just never worked. But this looks as though something is coming to a completion, some goal is coming to a close, ambitions are realized. So now you can kind of take that stability and kind of run with it, okay, on both sides. Okay, now for others of you who are looking for a new connection, I'm also getting like a coffee date, of course, with the Two of Cups. Coffee date, going somewhere adventurous also. Maybe why have one date, right? You can have multiple dates. So one might be more adventurous, one is more sit down and get to know each other. And there can even, I'm getting like quizzes and questions and just like curiosity coming through. Page of Swords is Gemini, so is the Lovers. And we have 2 Leo indicators coming in. So Gemini, Leo, what if you could be that? Or maybe you have both of these, lots of planets or some planets in these signs. And that's just indicating you're kind of the principal energy and you can guide the show and decide how this leads. Okay, so if someone does not feel right, you don't have to keep pushing anyway. It's about being in that vibe that you want to be vibing in. Okay, the type of relationship you want, vibe in that state. Don't try to make the person who's coming in fit into that box, because if they're not already that, it's just not, right? So I'm getting that you're not trying to make something happen. You're just going with the flow here and you're just taking that risk, like I was saying before. And something is clicking, okay? Something is clicking and working out for you. Okay, let's see what else we have. Pile number 3, please. We have Uranus, 8th house, and Sagittarius. Yeah, see the like unexpected expansion and transformation. Something just clicks in the 8th house, okay? That's when the transformation just happens. Up until you don't know, you just don't know. Or up until you're not aware, you're just not aware. So you can't really do much about it. So here it indicates there is a break in the ongoing patterns, and now there is a transmutation and empathy and understanding, more importantly, of the difficulties, challenges, and other obstacles you have been facing in your love life, whether or not you're with someone right now or not. There's also meeting someone with like shared belief systems and shared forms of intimacy as well. For example, some people find physical intimacy as intimacy. Some people talk about emotional intimacy as the true intimacy, and so on. So what exactly that is for you and what it means for your partner, that might be matching up here in some way. I'm also hearing dissolving blocks and coming out wiser. This can be someone from a different cultural background or religious background, and you might not have expected yourself to be attracted to someone from a different vibe, basically, but somehow, even if they are technically different, there is that internal pull, and you kind of understand and resonate with each other here. So that just makes it all the more exciting. There's lots of discoveries and curiosity going on here. You might even talk about like big picture topics like politics and, you know, other like global events and situations, all of that, like cultures, diversity, how the world is connected and things like that. And you can also talk about like more shared problems that we have, for example, or this can talk about, you know, religious, spiritual and occult beliefs as well. And through that process, basically, you discover more about one another, and like from differing worldviews, we can see more about ourselves, basically, right? So you're learning more about the other, yes, but you're also understanding yourself more deeply, which just enhances the intimacy you feel with each other. And yeah, just broadening your horizons, kind of seeing where this takes you and all of that. I'm also getting this realistic viewpoint of you're not trying to sugarcoat this connection too much. You're not putting in too many expectations. You're like, well, we'll see how this goes, but I'm optimistic. You're not actively trying to stop anything or self-sabotage in any way. So you're kind of going with that and seeing how this goes, basically. Okay, I would like one more for pile number 3, love life in 6 months. Second house, moon and Sagittarius. Yeah, so personal beliefs and values are coming up here. There can be a matching up of this. Or, you know, again, if you're in a relationship, this can be conflicts around that. And now you're finding that middle view or that agree to disagree type of mindset where you just adjust and get along with each other. And at the same time, you kind of understand where they are coming from. So there is an increasing of wisdom, heightening of perspective, basically. Okay, so that's what I have for you, pile number 3. Thank you so much for being here. I hope the reading was insightful. Let me know your thoughts. If you want a personal reading, you can reach me via Etsy. The link is in the description box. I will see you some other time. Until then, take care. Bye. Hi, pile 4. Welcome to your reading. Let's see what your love life looks like in the coming 6 months. So during the 6 months, as well as what's happening at the 6-month mark. We have your past supports your future, card number 11. Okay, new beginnings coming through, some type of equality and balance coming in. Karma, karmic retributions and rewards as well. We have bliss is worth creating from, card number 26 adds up to 8, which is about unlocking your abundance and manifestation powers, also unlocking your personal power. We have move beyond intention to belief, which is card number 5, which talks about major changes. And this looks like it's a key with some, you know, illumination going on around it, which talks about having the solution, and therefore you're kind of breaking free from any constraints you have been facing. Also, this indicates you've learned a lot from your past, and, you know, either you want to go for certain types or you don't want to go for certain types. In either case, you have recognized a lot about yourself and your relationship needs and patterns as well. So now you're just looking for what can bring me happiness. If it's not bringing me happiness, no thank you, bye-bye, right? So you're creating from that space, And there is just a lot of clarity that's coming through here. I don't really know how many words to put this in. It's that simple. You're very clear about what you're looking for. You've learned a lot and you know what to spot. And you're just moving forward, believing that, okay, well, I'll know when I know. I'll simply know. There's a strong faith in personal power you're unlocking here. Okay, so let's get some more details. Pile number 4. What else is coming through for the love life 6 months from whenever they choose this reading, please? Okay, that's far too many at once. I'm going to take these because they separated themselves. Okay, what else do we have? Okay. Okay, let's just go with it. We have the Hermit, which talks about soul searching and spiritual strength. Lots of wisdom and knowledge. The color scheme matches up so beautifully with the past supports your future. No, you didn't even. These are very different decks, so that's surprising. Okay, we have the 6 of Wands coming up next, which is quite similar to the Bliss card, but I'm just going to put it here. We have the 10 of Wands. We have the High Priestess. And we have the 6 of Pentacles. Okay. All right, so after a moment of solitary energy, there is coming some connection. There is success as well, lots of self-love and appreciation. Again, the 6 of Wands is about knowing your worth. Perhaps you've done a lot of self-work and purging in the recent past or are going through it right now. And that is creating some long-lasting changes for you in terms of your love life. Okay. Removing the pressures and expectations from something. That's something I'm getting. So yeah, from connections, if you've been expecting a certain standard or, this is it type of situation where it has been not very compromising, but at the same time, it has not been bringing you joy, but just adding up more and more barriers and guards in like attracting a loved one. I'm getting that those things are getting transmuted and you're letting go of, let's say, 4 qualities from your must-have list. And it just makes you feel a lot more elevated, a lot lighter, and also enhances your faith that you can meet someone like that. And let's say you have like 10 things in the list, like they have to be good looking, or they are earning well, or they have good jobs, or they have something, all right? But some of those things might not be your highest priority. Okay, it's the top 10, yes, but they're not like the very, very top. So, if you've been gauging other people based on that, then you might be disappointed because you're also letting go of the other qualities that you actually care about because they didn't match up to the point number 8 or point number 9, let's say. So you're letting some of those qualities that you have in your mind or in your subconscious, whatever the case is, you're letting those things go. In some cases, this talks about the things you learned from past pains. Like, I will never date someone whose name starts with, C. Or who's called something else, right? Like those things are not really the topmost priority compared to, is loyal or hardworking, is dedicated, whatever. So you're kind of removing such mindsets or such patterns, and that kind of makes you feel very light because you've forgiven, you've forgotten, you're like, bye-bye, that's done. And you're ready to meet someone new and form a connection from a deeper level. So this looks like you're conversing with someone here, and there is manifestation and intuition coming in. So you could be manifesting someone quite literally, or this is talking about releasing certain blocks which open up the way for something that was always meant to be yours. So it clears up the channel for something to come in. If you're someone who has put in a lot of effort, this is now the time when you flip roles and you're like, you know what, I'm going to be the recipient now. If someone wants to be with me, come to me, okay? I'm not going to be pursuing anymore. I have been, risk-taking, bold, and whatever. And I've tried to sustain relationships and all of that, but, for some or the other reason, circumstantially, things have not worked out. So I'm just going to be here. I'm open to receiving whatever the universe has for me. Let it come through. Okay, and by doing that, you literally like opening up the doors and allowing the universe to kind of unfold itself in front of you. I'm seeing the 2 6s, and this talks about harmony, alignment, and flow. So especially in terms of relationships with anything. Now we're talking about love, so of course it's talking about the love relationships. There's more harmony, easy flowing energy, and whoever you connect with, you can communicate almost endlessly with this person. It's just very enjoyable to talk to them, and you can kind of relate with each other more emotionally as well. Yes, and it can even be that your spiritual belief systems are aligned in some way. Although I'm getting Virgo and Pisces. Okay, Virgo, Pisces, because the Hermit is Virgo, High Priest is Pisces, and they're right opposite from one another, and that's literally the classic case of opposites attract, right? So that is coming through. You're able to understand each other from a deeper level. The way that you go about things is quite similar in some regards. And I think you're sharing that, or it feels as though even though they are quite different from you, you somehow can't pull yourself away from the situation, or it is somehow still carrying so much chemistry, and it's kind of that knowing feeling, right? Which we were initially getting, like when you're very confident about that now, and if it doesn't, it doesn't, like that's it. You're not going to try to force anything, not yourself to be someone else's version, nor are you asking someone else to be your version of partner. So it just is pretty flowy. Okay, let's get into the other deck. What's in store for pile number 4 in terms of love in the coming 6 months? Yes, okay, we have not teleportation, what? Why did I say that? Okay, we have wormhole and we have geocentric model. So I guess teleportation comes into the wormhole situation where you are literally being transported into another dimension, basically, okay? By making a certain choice, you're putting yourself in a different level, basically, okay? So you're attracting different types of people, different circumstances as well, because it looks like whatever your relationship patterns or your past has been trying to teach you, you're done learning that. Okay, it looks like a complete situation and you're ready to move on. You're just done with the previous chapter, you're ready to move on, you've laid down your heaviness and there is nothing else holding you back. You're just ready to go for it. I feel as though you know who you are, and at the same time you're not resisting the flow. So it looks as though your ego and your soul are kind of interconnected at this time. So it helps you understand the higher perspective of things. And you're like, we're all connected, and when I'm ready, it's just going to happen. It's going to come towards me and be brought to me, no matter where it is, okay? Yeah, it can even be that, yeah, I'm getting this scenario, okay? that you're in some country and you don't know this person is not even there in your country at this time. It's just an example, by the way. Does not have to be literal. But okay, you're in this country, you don't know that your partner to be is not in the country and you're looking for someone, and you're not yet thinking about someone who's like from far away or from some other place. So now when you open things up to the universe, you're kind of saying, okay, I don't care, I don't care if they're from Asia or Australia or, Africa, America, I don't care. Okay, it doesn't matter. I'll know when I know. So that's literally a huge shift. Like there's literally no barrier anymore. Very Piscean, by the way. You could be Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus. But that honestly is opening you up, and you can trust yourself a lot more once this happens. Not only in terms of love and relationships, okay? In general, you can just trust yourself at this point because you are in alignment. It's really difficult to like find that state and then like stay in it, right? That's where we struggle. We become high vibe, like let's say during meditation or something, and then we drop back down when we are like, I don't know, getting involved in some other activities and so on. So it can be a little bit difficult to sustain that state, but it looks like you are managing that somehow. For example, even finding time to like garden a little bit every single day or do some other activity like cooking or something that calms your mind and brings you to a state of mindfulness. If you do that often enough in a day, it is more possible to sustain this type of dynamic with the universe here. So it looks like you're doing something like this a lot more. It is helping your stress if you're stressed in any way. It's also helping you be more successful in any tasks that you are trying. I know it's a love reading, but it's just another message that's coming through. The point is that, everything is shifting. It's not just your love life. That's my point. Like your attitude in general is changing, who you are, how you believe, how you perceive the world. All of that is changing, and that's huge. That breaks open your heart, repairs any blocks within any of the chakras. It hypes up that solar plexus. You're ready to believe in yourself and take into your wings anything you desire, and that includes forming a connection. If you decide that I'm just going to form a connection, I don't care with whom, and I'm just going to be here and wait for this person, I don't care where they come from. So universe, show me your magic. If you're that decisive in this way, and at the same time you have faith that the universe heard you, it's gonna come in some way or the other. It's absolutely gonna come. Okay, be it financial, be it love, be it spiritual, anything. Wow, very strong stuff. Very nice. So yes, card number 5 coming in, and the card number 11 is literally that a big new beginning is coming through for you, where you literally transported from the state of being that you're in. And by the way, it can even be that you are moving countries or cities, you're relocating in some way, so your world, neighborhood, community, everything is shifting literally, and that's where this person could be. Of course, you're not moving with the expectation, but yes. Okay, what else do we have for pile number 4, please? 6 months from whenever they choose to read in your love life. We have Sagittarius, Mars, and the 4th house. Yeah, so it could be that you are moving homes, or there is this belief in knowing you're acting from that inner self, okay? You're not denying your inner voice or intuition in any way. You're trusting yourself, moving instinctively. There's literally that no resistance type of energy. But I really like Mars in Sagittarius because Mars is more like willful and directed, and it kind of encourages that side to come out through Sagittarius as well. Yeah, other cultures, someone coming from a different culture in their family, maybe their upbringing has been different, even if you're from the same country or something. Okay, let's see one more for pile number 4. Eighth house. Oh, wow. Okay, 8th house, Sun and Scorpio. Can even be Scorpio, Sagittarius, if that resonates. But this talks about transformation, transforming what you focus on, what you believe in, and what you see in the world. You're able to see beyond what is obvious And that includes understanding the mechanisms of the mind and the universe and how that mind-body connection works as well. Yeah, literally like transformation. Also, you're understanding more deeply what you are or what you're needing from a relationship. And that helps improve your intimacy. And whoever you're connecting with here, definitely you're connecting at a very deep level, quite spiritual, even in the previous section, the previous astro dice that we got. But even here, you're really connecting very deeply. You're understanding how the other person works. And emotional connection is as well quite high. I am also sensing that your aspirations in life, like what you would like to have in life, that is quite similar too, regardless of what stage of achievement you're in and all of that. Okay, so that's what I have for you. Thank you so much for being here. I hope the reading was insightful, that it helps you out. Let me know your thoughts. And if you want a personal reading, you can reach me via Etsy. The link is in the description box. And I will see you some other time. Until then, take care. Bye.